Good morning. Before I start this update on the second half of 2014, I want you to save the date for our annual conference, OW2 14, which will take place in November 4-6 in Paris. So this webinar is for the update on OW2 for the second half of 2014, and we're going to cover 4 parts. First of all, a quick reminder of OW2 in its context. Second, an update on our operations. Third, an update on our events. And we will finish this with a quick update on our collaborative projects. So talking about our context, we are an open source community, and we make a code base of open source infrastructure software. And because we know that open source is also a business model, our second part of our mission is to help build a vibrant business ecosystem, as we say. We make ours the 4 freedoms of free software as defined by the Free Software Foundation: the right to use the software for any purpose, the right to read the software to understand how it's made, the right to share the software, and the right to modify it and to distribute modified copies of the software. These are 4 simple rules that have had the power to change the software industry. We follow these rules, and we look after projects, open source projects at large, starting with the project carried by grassroots communities, those that are driven by the original free software ethics. We look after the projects carried by commercial vendors, those that pursue an open source business model. And we also look at projects that, these open source projects that support the cooperative innovation by ecosystems of companies and research organizations. Communities, commercial vendors, and ecosystems are let's say, our 3 segments. And for these segments, we run what we call a community ecosystem platform, something that offers technical services, community services, and market outreach services. This platform is made possible by what we can call 5 strategic drivers. First of all, the code base. Without the code base, we don't exist. This code base is developed by a community. This community works together in the framework of activities. Everything runs smoothly under an open source governance, and we run independently. We keep our independence because we maintain healthy finance. We're going to drill into each of these areas, and that will be our operations update. First of all, the code base. We have today about 130 code base, and we are currently engaged in a big cleanup operation in order to reduce the number of projects and to make this code base better understandable by the market out there. We're going to clean it up, and we're also going to change or reevaluate the criteria that presides over the upgrade for each project from the incubation stage to the mature stage. This task is carried out by the Technology Council, and more specifically by a group that we call the Code Base Management Task Force. Second, on the community side, we have today a growing pipe of potential new members, and we are happy to announce that we have signed a new strategic member, Institut Mines Telecom. Institut Mines Telecom is one of the leading engineering schools in France, and it's at the center of a vast network of startups, and this will greatly enrich the OW2 ecosystem. On the activity side, we must talk about the project, and we must talk about the initiatives. First of all, the project. We've, over the last few months, we've accepted 4 new projects. iConnect and Mob IoT are 2 projects in the Internet of Things area. These are middleware that aim at handling the heterogeneity between application behaviors or data formats in the world of Internet of Things, where we interconnect different applications, different systems, sensors, devices, etc. Third project, Nursery, is an API management suite, and that will be very useful to help integrate the components that make the OW2 code base. And the 4th project is Lutes. Lutes is a very flexible Java-based CMS system that has been developed for its own usage by the Ville de Paris and which is already deployed throughout 200 sites. And the Technology Council is currently evaluating Hammer. Hammer is a tool to manipulate application images over the cloud. Talking about the next part of the initiatives. So talking about the initiatives, we are working currently on a new initiative focused on privacy and security. So when this one is ready, with 4 initiatives, one on open cloud, one on big data, one on future internet, and one on security, we think that we will cover what will constitute the backdrop of future applications. Let's look at governance now. Governance, we must talk about the board of directors and the technology council. The board of directors has recently established 2 vice president positions, one for finance and one for collaborative projects, respectively held by Valère Robin of Orange and Jean-Pierre Lauré of Linagora. These 2 vice president positions reflect growing they reflect areas of growing importance for day-to-day operations. Looking at the Technology Council, I must say the Technology Council has been running over the last couple of months without a TC chairman, and the seat is vacant at the moment, and we will soon proceed to the election of a chairperson. The Technology Council is concentrated on 5 priorities. 1, cleaning up the code base. I've already mentioned that. 2nd, evolving the infrastructure. I'll cover that in a minute. 3rd one is to speed up the handling of new project submissions. The 4th priority is to reschedule meetings. Instead of having one meeting now and then, we are aiming at having better managed and monthly meetings. And the 5th area is to finalize our quality program, SQUAT. SQUAT stands for Software Quality Assurance and Trustworthiness. That's for governance. I'm looking at budget, at finance now. From the finance point of view, OW2 is still a low-cost organization. Our budget is only a fraction of those big organizations to which we can be compared to. In 2014, our overall budget decreased by 7%, and we made a very serious effort to control our expenses. That I think for latest budget forecast for 2014, I think we will be in a window of minus 10% in terms of expenses. Hopefully in 2014, we'll be able to resume the growth of our expenses. I want to finish this update on our operations by a note on the technical infrastructure. This infrastructure is long due an overhaul. Today, we do have most of the tools that development teams require, but we need to upgrade our Forge. And the discussions today at within the Technology Council, driven by what we call the Infrastructure Task Force, are aiming at a new architecture that may be built around the Tulip Forge. And this Tulip Forge will serve as like a back panel that will help integrate most of the tools that we will still offer our community. Now, we have a survey regarding the technical infrastructure, and this the Technology Council is currently working on it. So that concludes the updates on the operations. Let's look at the events before looking at the collaborative projects. Events. We have events in several countries. In Sweden, in Japan, in North America, in Italy, in Slovenia, a bit all over, and I think we should concentrate on those that are the most important. First of all, we have OSCON. As usual, we had in July our participation in the OSCON conference and exhibition. It's perhaps the main open source event in the world, and we feel it's important for us to be there. This year, we used OSCON to showcase the Open Cloudware project. The next event I wanted to talk about was the programming contest. This programming contest was launched in March. Now we are finishing it, and we have 14 teams participating in it. And the award conference will take place in Chengdu, mid-October, in China. It will be hosted by the Chengdu University of Information Technology. Interestingly enough, this event is today is one of the events that is part of the celebration of the 15th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between France and China. Now, we are looking at, towards the end of October and beginning of November, at a heavy week with the combination of Open World Forum, OpenStack Summit, and OW2 14, all within 1 week in Paris. That will make Paris like the center of the open source world. And we are talking about the Open Source Week in Paris 2014. There is a website being developed about that. So if I look at, first of all, the Open World Forum, OW2 will have a village at the Open World Forum, which will be run by probably six of our members. And OW2 is leading two sessions, one that we call the Community Summit, and another one, a session dedicated to showcasing collaborative European projects. Then there will be OW2 14. This is our annual conference, annual event of the OW2 community. This will be held as usual at Innovation Garden at Orange Labs. We will have keynotes, project presentations, panels, OW2 project awards, free lunch, and of course the free beer party. Among the keynotes, we will have Francis Jutin, who's the scientific director of our new strategic member, Institut Mines Telecom. We will have Jonathan Bryce, the executive director of the OpenStack Foundation. And we will have Jean-Baptiste Kempf, who is the lead developer of the VLC media player. Now, there is one thing important to note about OW2 14, and it is that the first day of the conference will take place at the OpenStack Summit. We have a special arrangement with the OpenStack Foundation, and with this partnership, they've agreed that all our cloud-oriented presentations, all the cloud-oriented presentations that we wanted to have within the OW2 conference will be, in fact, located and will be given within the OpenStack Summit, in the precinct of the OpenStack Summit, and will appear in the schedule of the OpenStack Summit. So the idea here is to give visibility to our cloud-oriented projects and to further develop the relationship between the OW2 community and the OpenStack community. As a special treat to the OW2 members, when registering to the OW2 14 Open Cloud Day at the OpenStack Summit, OW2 members will be granted a free pass to the whole OpenStack Summit at the what they call the keynote and exhibition level. And that's a value of $300. So I think this is a special treat, and we are very pleased of this partnership with the OpenStack Foundation. Let's have a look at the collaborative project. I want to finish this update with a quick overview of what's happening with our collaborative projects. RISCOS is an FP7 project which aim is to develop a decision support system that implements risk mitigation methodologies to help users and systems integrators select an open source component. We will be showcasing RISCOS at Open World Forum. We will have demonstrations, and RISCOS will be on our village. We think there's a good fit between Open World Forum and RISCOS. Open World Forum attendees are mainly project managers, executive decision makers, and we think that's a good match. Then we will also have Compatible One at Open World Forum, and Compatible One will also be a program of the OW2 14 Open Cloud Day at OpenStack Summit. Also, at the OW2 14 Open Cloud Day at OpenStack Summit, we will be launching Open Cloudware. This is the first time that we will be able to show a demonstration of Open Cloudware. We will also be launching Excel Cloud at the OW2 14 Open Cloud Day at OpenStack Summit. So the idea here is to give good visibility to Open Cloudware and to Excel Cloud. Now, finally, I want to finish with two good news regarding our participation in European projects. We were working on two proposals. One, the Co-Revolution proposal for the Horizon 2020 program. Co-Revolution is supposed to be the sequel of the CoREOS project, and I'm pleased to say that it's been accepted. So that will help us further develop the IDRE that we had in Correos and further energize the Future Internet Software and Services Initiative. And the second good news regards the App Hub proposal on which we were working, and that also has been accepted in the Horizon 2020 program. App Hub is important. It will complete the Ocean project. Ocean is developing what we call the Open Cloud Directory, which is a directory that identifies the open cloud components developed by the European Collaborative Project for Cloud Computing. Now, with App Hub, we will implement a marketplace that will make these components readily available and easy to download and to implement. What's good for OW2 is that App Hub will help us implement the marketplace that is part of our long-term strategy. And this concludes my update for the second half of 2014. Thank you.